Hi, my name is Krishna Raman. I am an open source lead for the OpenShift Origin project at Red Hat. OpenShift is a platform as a service product which enables developers to quickly bring up applications without having to deal with the stack below it. It also enables operations to take full advantage of a standardized development model so that they don't have to constantly spin up and spin down customized VMs for different applications. PaaS, or Platform as a Service, provides a common language for both developers and operations to speak to each other. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps needed to host OpenShift on top of OpenStack. I will be using OpenShift Origin, which is the open source version of the OpenShift product. This video is targeted more towards operations folks who want to bring up OpenShift Origin within their organization to test it out or to develop against it. We will also be using the Heat API, which is a service to orchestrate multiple composite cloud applications. We will be using AWS Cloud Formations templates to describe a two-machine OpenShift installation. The first machine is the broker, which is responsible for application lifecycle management and providing a REST interface to manage the application. The second machine is the node, and this is where your applications will actually be running. So let's get started. The first step is to install OpenStack and the Heat API. For this demo, I am using the Heat API Getting Started guide, which is available in the Heat GitHub repository. It walks you through how to set up OpenStack and how to start Heat services. After OpenStack and Heat are set up and started, we need to compile the OS images for the broker and node machines. So let's start with that. I've created a small start script which I use to start both OpenStack and Heat. It opens port 8000 and 8003, which are required by the Heat CloudWatch API, and it uses the demo installation of OpenStack to get that started. Let's also source in the Keystone credentials so that we can call Heat APIs. Just to make sure, if we run Heat CFN list, it shows that we don't currently have any stacks running. So the first step is to compile the broker image. This step does take a while, so I'm going to be fast forwarding through this part of the installation. And while it is possible to run the OpenShift template against just a bare-bone Fedora 18 JEOS template, I would not recommend that. This is because both the broker and the node packages images require a lot of packages to be installed, both RPMs and gems, and this does take a while. So to make the experience of spinning up OpenShift quick and simple, I would recommend compiling the broker and node images ahead of time. So after the image is built, we need to register it with the OpenStack glance service. We can do that by just running the command highlighted below. I've also built a node image similar to this broker one, following pretty much the same process. So let's register that as well. Once both images are registered, we can go to the OpenStack UI and take a look at it over there. As you can see, I have the broker, the node, as well as a plain old JEOS image registered here. Next, we will use the heat cfn command to kick off an OpenShift origin build. We are passing three parameters to this command. The first one is the SSH key name that I will be using to SSH into these machines. The second one is a DNS key. This is used for the broker to authenticate against bind, which is the DNS server. The third one is an upstream DNS. So since we are running a DNS server on the broker machine, for it to be able to resolve google.com or any upstream addresses, we need to have it forward DNS queries to this upstream server. I'm using 8888, which is a public DNS server provided by Google. Once the command has been accepted, we can then run heat cfn list to see the progress of the stack. As you can see, the creation is in progress. We can also go to the UI and see what instances it is spinning up. This is first going to spin up a broker instance, and once the broker is completely up and running, it will spin up a node instance and associate the node with the broker. Once both machines have started, we can use the heat cfn command to make sure that everything is complete. And it lists the OpenShift stack as complete. Next, I will be pointing my host machine to use the broker as a DNS resolver. Since we have the bind DNS service running over there, this will allow us to connect to that and resolve any of our OpenShift applications that are running within the machines to be accessible from outside. Let us also get the host name for the broker machine. Currently, the OpenShift template configures the hostname for the machine to be the instance name.example.com. So let's just copy that and browse to it. It's running a self-signed certificate, so accept the certificate. The default password for OpenShift Origin is admin, or username admin, password admin, but this can be easily changed by customizing the template. Let's use OpenShift to create a simple WordPress application. I'll choose an application name of WordPress, and my namespace is just local ns. The WordPress application will create a PHP 5.4 application with a MySQL database embedded in it. After it has been created, the console will give you the admin username and password for the WordPress database. But we don't really need to access that, so let's just open the application itself. And there you go, this is the standard WordPress installation page. So that was basically creating an application using the OpenShift Origin console. We can also create applications from command line. So the first thing you would do is install the RH gem. And these are the command line tools that you'd use to access OpenShift. These are the same tools that you would use to access OpenShift online as well. Once the tools are installed, run RHC setup and give it an option to specify which server it should connect to. So we will point it at our broker machine. So at this point, RHC is set up to connect to the broker machine that we just spun up. Let's create a new application. So this command will basically create you an empty PHP 5.4 application, and it will also check out the Git repository that you can use to publish code to this application. Let's make a small modification. And save this. So if we go to this application before we push our code, we get the standard OpenShift boilerplate template, which just says welcome to OpenShift. The changes I made just now should change this to welcome to OpenShift on OpenStack. So let's do a git push. Once the push is complete, refresh the page, and here we go.